The US President Donald Trump is getting very angry at Ford and General Motors, calling on them to quote-unquote open your stupidly abandoned plant. President Donald Trump has lost his patience with automakers who promised to produce ventilators to treat the virus by patients by threatening to invoke his emergency powers to force General Motors and Ford to live up to their pledge. I quote Donald Trump. They said they were going to give us 40,000 much-needed ventilators very quickly, Trump tweeted on Friday. Now they're saying it will only be 6,000 in late April and they want top dollar, tweeted the president. He added that it's always a mess, I quoted, with GM CEO Mary Barra, and that he will invoke the Defense Production Act, a piece of wartime legislation giving the president the power to order manufacturers to produce essential supplies. I quote, General Motors must immediately open their stupidly abandoned Lordstown plant in Ohio, the president rant continued, referring to the plant GM shuttered after promising him to keep jobs in the United States, quote, or some other plant and start making ventilators now. End of the quote. Ford should do the same, he added, also in capital letters. GM promised last Friday that it would partner with Ventec Life Systems to scale up production of ventilators, vital medical devices used to keep the worst affected COVID-19 patients alive. Ford also announced that it had entered preliminary discussions with the federal government to build the devices. Automakers' apparent foot dragging seems to have struck a nerve with the president. Trump's own administration has been reluctant to sign a deal with GM, claiming that the $1 billion price tag requested by the GM was too steep. According to the report in the New York Times, Trump backed away so he could talk to other potential suppliers. The president has until now insisted that the Americans' private sector is willing and able to produce all the supplies that the country needs to stave off the virus. I quote, we are literally being besieged in a beautiful way by companies that want to do the work and help our country. End of the quote. He said at a press conference last week, specifically citing General Motors as one of those companies. However, the apparent limits of the free market mean that Trump may soon be forced to invoke the Defense Production Act, activated by the president last week as a fallback measure. The act would allow the federal government to compel manufacturers to produce vital equipment. As recently as Thursday, however, he insisted that we don't need it. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have called on Trump to enforce the act. Though he has resisted thus far, circumstances may yet force his hand. General Motors is still likely to profit from the crisis. While the automaker has suspended production and cut paychecks, it will probably be able to draw from the $500 billion rescue fund allocated by the government's $2 trillion coronavirus stimulus bill. General Motors dodged failure before, and along with Ford and Chrysler received a $80 million bailout in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. Let me know what you think, everyone, if you think that General Motors will listen to the president and open the plant and quickly produce the ventilators. This is Armen Haryam from TorqueNews.com. I'm referencing RT.com for this article that I found online. And please subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next video, which I'm going to talk about Tesla. Have a blessed rest of the day and stay safe.